Good morning, Taconic, and welcome back to this week's broadcast of Taconic TV. I'm your host, Matt Garrity, and I just want to congratulate everyone on making it through their first 2 weeks of semester 2. I hope everyone is enjoying their new classes. Now, let's get into today's news. Today is Friday, February 11th, and today is a half day. We have a great show lined up for y'all today, just like we always do. To start off the show, we have Jack and Anthony with the main news. Then we hand it over to Owen and Bonnie with some more video game facts. After that, we take a quick look at the recent band concerts. Then we hand it over to Maverik with a closer look at our automotive program. And lastly, we hand it off to Mr. Wojcik with today's weather. But before we get started, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks for that, guys. As you all probably know, today is a half day, and it's also the last day to sign up for the March 12th SAT test.
A few weeks ago, we had an amazing concert here at Taconic, and we were lucky enough to grab some footage of it. Here it is.
It was a great concert, don't you think, Anthony?
Absolutely, Jack. I think there's just so much amazing talent here at Taconic. Up next, we have Maverik on the scene of the automotive shop. Let's go to you, Maverik.
Thanks, guys. Here with me is MJ, Hannah, and Cole. And they've agreed to answer some questions for us. So, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Would you be as kind enough to tell us what happens in this CTE program?
Yeah, so what happens in the CTE program is that we work on either personal vehicles, teachers' vehicles, or if one of our teachers needs to have something done, we work on that as a project together.
Yeah, we do a lot of engine work, we do brake jobs, we do oil changes, we do codes, pretty much whatever your car needs.
We do everything from like 50-point inspections, going over everything in the car, inside out, under the car, everything from you know, taking apart an entire engine, putting it back together just how it was when we got it. We could even put it in a car, you know, have a car run, everything like that.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool. So, what do you feel separates this CTE program from others?
So I feel like what separates this CTE program from the others is that we know we work 10 times harder, I feel like, than any of the other shops because of the fact that, one, we work as a team, and secondly is that when we work on, you know, personal vehicles or teachers' vehicles, it's our way of learning, and that when we do that, we have an easier way of succeeding into a career that we want to go into.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not just physical work, there's also a lot of mental work, so problem solving, trying to figure out what's going to work best for you, and also a lot of working with computers and fuses.
Yeah, like with mental work, you know, you get to remember a lot of stuff. You know, say you need like a socket, you could just like feel the nut and be like, oh, I know exactly what socket I need for this. You know, you do what you need to get the job done. A lot of math too with like circuits and everything, electrical work on a dashboard.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Well, thanks for being here with us, and now back to the studio.
Thanks, Maverik. The Taconic vs. PHS basketball game was postponed to Monday, and the varsity game is at 6 o'clock.
We now have Owen Bonnie with a little segment on video games. Enjoy.
What is going on, everybody? This is Owen here, and welcome back to some more video game facts. One of the most common things for video game developers to do when creating video games is add Easter eggs. These can either serve as small nods to previous games that they have worked on, or just are there for the sake of being there. But do you know the first game to ever include an Easter egg? Well, if you're a fan of the book/movie Ready Player One, you'd know that that title goes to the game Adventure, released in 1980 on the Atari 2600. You see, back then, video game creators weren't usually given credit towards their games. Adventure's creator, Warren Robinette, disliked being anonymous. That's when he decided to secretly hide his name within the game. He hid his name in a very hard to find place within the game, that way it could go under Atari's radar. And it worked! In fact, it worked so well, almost no one was able to find it. To unlock the Easter egg, you first have to find a small dot hidden within the game. Once you find it, you must bring that dot to a room, which will allow you access to the Easter egg. Anyways, that's going to be it for Video Game Facts. Now, let's hand it back to the studio.
The open house is on Wednesday, and we'll be here in video production, so if you want, come stop by and see how we make the show. Well, now let's go to Mr. Wojcik with the weather.
Hi guys, thank you. Welcome to Wojcik's weather. I'm going to get into the forecast looking at the national map. You can see, especially out in the west, a lot of high pressure. A lot of that's going to be heading our way. There are not a lot of really storm systems on the horizon for us. We got one low pressure that'll be coming up through Friday night into Saturday. Might be some snow showers, on and off rain. Temperature's still going to be in the 40s, though. We'll talk about that in a sec, but nothing really major coming up. What you're going to see, though, is some of this cold dropping down from Canada for a couple of days early next week before we get back into another warm-up. So some of the temps right now around the area: Pittsfield 25, North Adams 28, up in Schenectady 25, Saratoga Springs 26. Everybody right around the mid-20s right now. And just looking nationally, you can see the country's fairly cool right now, even all the way down into Orlando 47, okay? A lot of the country in the 20s. It's this up in Minneapolis and International Falls up there where you see the low temps. Those are going to be heading our way for Sunday and Monday. And so looking at the extended outlook, we have today just with the clouds, some mixed showers, snow showers tomorrow. Super Bowl Sunday, that's when the temps start dropping. It'll be 26 on Sunday, 22 Monday, Valentine's Day. Hug your honey weather for sure, with the lows down to 6. Another cool one onto Tuesday, so that's that high pressure with the cold coming down from Canada, which will be here. And then we will start again Wednesday warming up. It'll be cold in the morning, getting up in the 40s, and then we're going to have a few days of that coming up. So I just put this gentleman up here for a picture just for a confusing look and some things to think about. One, why do we eat pizza from the inside out? The word ambiguous only has one meaning. And lastly, does our stomach think that all potatoes are mashed? Just something to think about there. And lastly, just in honor of the Super Bowl, we have these pools right every year, the numbers pools. I'm sure a lot of you play in, and I'm sure a lot of you are sick of every year getting lousy numbers or just losing every year. How many of you play in these pools and lose year to year, okay? So what I decided to do was have my own pool. I invested $100, $1 a square, and I bought up all the squares. So I'm going to be sitting there Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm going to be a winner. I'm going to be really, really happy. So it may be something you want to think about doing on your own. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks, Mr. Wojcik. Taconic TV would like to congratulate William Garrity on making his final decision on the college he will be attending in the fall. He will be attending BCC for 2 years, studying computer networking and cybersecurity. One last thing before we end off today's show. Attention CTE staff. We sent out an email talking about a new segment idea we had called Tips from CTE. It's practically life hacks that would be useful for students to know. If you are interested in participating, please fill out the Google form that we sent out to your email, or email us at taconictv@pittsfield.net. Other than that, remember to take responsibility, have respect, and strive for excellence. Have a good one, Taconic.